Hi. So I had a bit of a revelation and I realised that I really miss being a pro rider. I was pro junior for years and years and years and years and years, and the worst thing I ever did was stop riding to do my HSC. Like, I stopped everything thinking it was this huge drama and it was just going to take up all my time and energy, and honestly it was the stupidest mistake of my life. And that's about 9 years ago now. 9 years. And I've been kind of training and doing bits and pieces, and mostly just teaching riders or fun riding, doing, casual competitions. And I really miss competing. I used to love competing every weekend, 3 weekends a month or every weekend. And so while I was shoveling shit, I came to the revelation that I really want to go pro again. I want to go pro rider. I used to be pro in a few different disciplines, and I intend to be again. This is my dressage star, Persia. I've had her a year now. Yeah, I've had you a year. She was my almost dog mate pony. And the only reason she was there and no one would bid on her was because we were told she was too forward for the daughter whose parents sent her to the sale. Thanks. She is the most talented, clever mare. She is 16 end of this year, 15 now. I am so happy that I spontaneously bid on her. She is just the most beautiful girl. Oh, by the way, I'll introduce you to the 4 horses. Yes, I know. 4 horses that are going to make me pro again. And then we have Mr. Cruz. He's got a bear stable. He's the one I was contemplating. Weren't you? This is my boy. This is my number 1 boy. So Persia's thoroughbred. This is my American saddlebred, or one of many American saddlebreds that I bred. This horse, it has such amazing talent. I was, starting piafs and just jumping 80 centimeters from a, tiny little trot, and he's just such a talented horse that I can't believe that I hog him all to myself. I used to share him, but he is going to be my number 1. He is my number 1 boy. Cruz, he is 8. So he's only a baby. And he's still learning how to control his attitude. You don't have attitude, do you? So he's my saddlebred. He mostly events and show jumping, but he likes dressage about as much as I do. About this much. And then we have Mr. Odin. He's another thoroughbred, and he does all my beginner lessons at the moment, so all my riders that I teach, and he's about to go have one, even though it's, excuse the mess, we're still building, but it's raining. Not sure if you can see it, but he's still going to have a lesson. Go hard or go home. Yes, that's you, and she's so pretty. And he was another sale yard horse. When he came to me, he was jumping 90 centimeters and attacking anyone or anything that picked up gear near him. So the first day I went to put a rug on him, he nearly killed me. Teeth, front legs, back legs, and now I can throw any beginner on him and just smack him on the ass and say, see guys, see you, end of your lesson. I've had him just on a year now as well. Because of Persia, I took a chance on Ocean. So he is such an amazing jumper. He's a great trail horse. He's pretty big compared to me. And I love him. I love him so much. And then this one is Lily. She's American saddlebred. She is 10. 10. And she's actually, man, you got big ears in this photo. Her ears aren't that long. I don't know why. She looks like she's got really huge ears. She's American Saddlebred mare. My mum actually owns Lily. She bought her for me, but you know, parents. I paid for it. You give me kisses. That's so sweet. This mare had only ever really done adult riding club and some trail riding and just flat work. I think her old owner was more into western and trail. I encouraged Mum, and Mum bought Lily because her half brother was my best horse. Yeah, it's you. I got all selfie ponies. You're fucking it up. Her half brother, Wildmore's Take Me Higher, was my first horse that I ever bred, and he was almost 17 hands. He was just shy 17 hands, and he was the most amazing jumper. So super smart, just nothing phased him. And unfortunately I lost him in a freak accident where his back leg collapsed when I was actually riding him the day before we started our first comp season, and he sustained a head injury. So, hello. And Lily's mother, who's only recently passed away as well, was the broodmare that I would hang off in the paddock growing up as a kid, because my parents always had a breeding farm. They've always been to horses, always had a breeding farm. And this mare, my mother had her most of her life. Her name was Sky, and she was only tiny, and she'd pop out these huge 16 plus horses. And I would crawl up her legs, and I'd hang off her tail, and I'd harass the shit out of this horse. And she was the kindest horse, and she just loved me, and I absolutely loved her. And so because of Fox and because of Sky, we bought Lily. Now Lily is pretty long. She's the long type of saddlebred. She has a bit of a weak, she is a bit sway backed. I definitely think I can muscle her up, but she isn't your typical performance horse. We've only had her about 4 months, I think. I gave Lily a chance a couple of weeks ago and said, right, let's have a jump, because I love show jumping. And this mare, she just has not refused one thing. She hasn't batted an eyelid, and she just flies over the jumps. Like, I couldn't believe it, and I've been training horses for years. I really think this girl, man, your ears look huge, there we go. I really think this girl could take me very high, as long as I can build up her back muscles so that she's strong enough. And then there's also one more, Jasper, but he's way, way, way out in the paddock, being a bit of a horse at the moment. Jasper's been in work for like 4 years or something, pretty much. Just continual, casual, but continual work. And so now we've moved to the new property, I just want to turn him out, let him be a horse, let him have some fun. He's developing really, really well, muscling up nice, but he's just a jumping star. That horse, everyone falls in love with him. He's only little, but he's American Saddlebred too. Another one I bred. So yeah, that's my big rambling revelation. I'm actually pretty excited. I miss being pro. I really love being pro. Competing, eventing, show jumping, dressage, even though I'm not really crash hot on dressage. I love competing. The end. So yeah, I hope you guys can get behind me, support me. I'm going to do like a whole sort of vlog journey to pro again, which I know, being an older senior with my walking frame. No, I'm just turned 27, so I am a senior, so it's going to be harder. There's a lot of senior riders, but I got some good horses. I got some great backing. So my mother is such a support, my sister, Marianne. I know I can do it. I look forward to it.